Life, at many moments, seems like a whirlwind of uncertainties, challenges, and questions that leave us wondering what we're doing here. We seek meaning, try to find true happiness, and ask ourselves, how can we live well? There are many paths to follow, but one of them, which has withstood the test of time, is Stoicism. Stoicism, a philosophy that originated in ancient Greece and was popularized by thinkers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Emperor Marcus Aurelius, offers powerful lessons on how to live a good and fulfilling life. What makes this philosophy so relevant today, almost 2,000 years later, is its ability to provide a simple yet profound answer to the most essential questions of human existence. It's not about seeking happiness in external things or being attached to the relentless pursuit of fleeting pleasures, but about learning to master the mind, control what we can, and accept what we cannot. First, Stoicism teaches us something that seems simple but is challenging. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how hard we try, we cannot control all aspects of it. We cannot control the actions of others, the weather, world events, or even many of our personal circumstances. This might seem unsettling, but instead of despairing over it, Stoics encourage us to focus on what we can truly control: our own attitudes, thoughts, and reactions. Imagine this scenario. You're heading to work, and suddenly, a huge traffic jam starts to form. Many people begin honking their horns, complaining, and losing their patience. This is a good example of something we cannot control. But the big question here is, how do you react to this situation? Stoics remind us that the way we respond to what is beyond our control is where true power lies. You can choose to lose your temper, get frustrated with the situation, or you can opt to accept the fact that, no matter how frustrating it may be, nothing you do will change the traffic jam. Of course, this doesn't mean passive resignation, but rather an active practice of maintaining inner calm in the face of adversity. One of the first lessons Stoicism offers is precisely about what we can control: our mind. The idea is that we are, for the most part, governed by our perceptions of what happens around us. So, if we can change the way we see the world, we can transform our experience of life. Philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is an invitation for reflection. Often, anxiety, anger, or frustration arise not because of what happens, but because of how we interpret these events. When we change our perspective, we can find peace even in the most challenging situations. Another fundamental aspect of Stoicism is the idea of living in accordance with nature. Stoics believed that in order to live well, we must understand our place in the world and accept that things will not always unfold the way we expect. This does not mean being passive or indifferent toward life, but understanding that life follows its natural course, and often, suffering is an intrinsic part of that journey. This can be difficult to accept, especially in moments of pain or loss, but Stoic philosophy teaches us that these experiences can be opportunities for growth. When we face adversity with a calm mind, we can extract valuable lessons, develop resilience, and find a sense of peace even in difficult times. The concept of virtue is also central to Stoicism. For Stoics, true happiness is not found in material possessions or fleeting pleasures, but in living a virtuous life. This means cultivating qualities such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues are not merely abstract or distant ideals, but practical daily actions that help us make better decisions and live in a more balanced way. When we act with virtue, our minds are at peace because our actions are aligned with our deepest values. However, living according to Stoicism doesn't mean you'll never feel emotions such as sadness, anger, or fear. What Stoics propose is that, by cultivating a resilient and disciplined mind, we can choose how to respond to these emotions. Philosopher Seneca, for example, teaches us to embrace moments of difficulty as opportunities for self-development. He said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body," suggesting that every challenge is a chance to become a better person. Speaking of obstacles, Stoicism also teaches us to deal with the impermanence of life. Nothing lasts forever, and this includes both our difficulties and our moments of happiness. Accepting this transience helps us live more fully and be less attached to moments, whether they are good or bad. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us that everything that happens is natural, and therefore, there is no reason to be afraid or unhappy. This encourages us to adopt a broader view of life, understanding that all moments are part of a greater cycle. Stoicism also offers us a unique perspective on death, a theme often avoided but essential when seeking to understand the meaning of life. For Stoics, death is not something to be feared, but something we should accept as a natural part of life. Seneca suggested that by regularly reflecting on death, we can live more fully, as we understand that time is limited and therefore more precious. This awareness encourages us to live each day with greater intention, to seize moments rather than waste them on useless worries. Finally, Stoicism offers us a simple yet profound view on how to live well. It's not about avoiding suffering or seeking momentary pleasures, but about learning to master our reactions, living in harmony with nature, and cultivating virtues that bring us closer to our best selves. When we allow ourselves to practice these lessons, we discover that living well is not something that depends on the external world, but on what we cultivate within. The Stoic path is undoubtedly challenging, but also deeply transformative, allowing us to find peace, purpose, and meaning, even in the most difficult moments.